There are many people who come to our country, to the UK, who do things that would not be acceptable in their countries. It's virtually impossible, for example, to get Nigerian citizenship. I had that citizenship by virtue of my parents. I can't give it to my children because I'm a woman. Yet loads of Nigerians come to the UK, stay for a relatively brief period of time, acquire British citizenship. We need to stop being naive.
Hello everybody, welcome back again to my channel. My name is Wemimo and I'm also known as Tatmomo5 and also known as TMO5 Kanduko. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back. So yes, the video you've just watched was just less than a month ago, where Kemi Badenoch asserted that being a Nigerian, she's not able to pass the Nigerian citizenship to her children, which was a blatant lie. Because yes, I'm sure I did a video where I was able to point her into the Nigerian constitution, which permits her children to be able to gain Nigerian citizenship through her, because at the end of the day, her parents are originally Nigerian. Just because they gave birth to her in the UK does not mean she's lost out on that Nigerian citizenship. Her parents are originally Nigerian. They are originally from Ondo State. They bear the name Nigerian name. So she coming onto national TV to claim such lies is annoying. And yes, lots of videos came out advising her that she blatantly lied because what she asserted in that interview was wrong. And that, as if that was not enough, she's just been in the media for the wrong reason, because obviously she's the Conservative Party leader, right? And she's clamoring to become the next Prime Minister in the UK. Well, Kemi Badenoch, good luck with that. Like I said, she's in the press for the wrong reasons. How long ago did she say something? Obviously, there's been hula about asylum seekers being granted accommodation in hotels, and in so many cities, there's been protests everywhere. Peaceful protests, okay? We can't compare the protests here to that that's been happening everywhere else in the world, but it was a peaceful protest, and Home Office is still in talk as to where they're going to be housing asylum seekers. So she came out to drop a post, which I'm going to pop here, and she said, Britain is our home, not a hotel. I'm going to put it here, and trust me, people came for her. People came for her, and I think I did a live stream obviously addressing the fact that asylum seekers, people from all over the world come from various reasons to claim asylum, and their cases are being investigated, and while their cases are being investigated, they have to provide them shelter. Abby, is it not right? Yes. And once the asylum claim fails, they get deported back. But Kemi Badenoch saying that the UK is not is an hotel, is not like Britain is a home but not a hotel. Yes, people came for her, and let me drop the comment that people dropped for her. So somebody said, Britain is not your home, leave. I'm going to put it here. Others also said, your mom lived in Nigeria but came to the UK to make sure you were born here. Now that's pathetic. Yes, she benefited from the same system she's trying to scrap now. I'm getting somewhere with this video, okay? Someone also said, Kemi, they want you deported too, and that's coming from a white British. Yeah, just like we Nigerians are saying to her, don't throw your people under the bus. She's not listening. And don't get me wrong, some people are happy with the fact that she's throwing Nigerians under the bus. Let her carry on if that's going to get her into number 10. Someone also says, what do you mean by our? Bear in mind that you are Nigerian. She has forgotten that even while you are a British, if you are completing any sort of forms, either application forms, whatever form is it, there's a section where they ask you about your ethnicity, and there's a section where they ask you if you are British, what's it called, Black British African. And then African means you are African. African could be from anywhere, so your own African is Nigerian. So like I said, if you are here in the UK and you have completed any application form before, let me know in the comment section if you notice that section about ethnicity. They will ask you Black British African. African could be anything. Here in Scotland, they do Black Scottish African. Yes, because I'm resided in Scotland, so I will take that section as Black Scottish African. So Kemi saying that, oh, she no longer recognizes as Nigerian. So duh, we don't want you to recognize as Nigerian. In fact, it will be easier if you actually renounce Nigeria, because you are in the news for the wrong reason. Guys, like I said, I'm coming somewhere with this video, right? Like I said, I did a video in regards to that outburst of us saying that Britain is not a hotel, that Britain is our home. Nobody is disputing that. If Britain is your home, stay there, but don't tarnish the journey of some people. So as if it was not that long ago, was it how many days ago? In fact, it was yesterday, 1st of August, she was in the headline news again of Telegraph, and I'm going to screenshot it here. So I'm not going to read the entire part of that article to you, and I'm going to put a link. So at times Telegraph asks you to subscribe before you can read the paper. I've got a subscription so I can read all of their news, but if you're interested, I'm sure other newspapers have also reported on this news that Kemi Badenoch also said again. Like I said, she's in the news for the wrong reason, all because she wants to become the next Prime Minister in the UK. So this news, which I'm going to screenshot here and put it here, is from the Telegraph. I'm glancing sideways because I'm reading from my laptop. So it says that Kemi Badenoch, according to her, I no longer identify as Nigerian. Clap for yourself. Well done. Because at the end of the day, if you decide that you're no longer classified, if you no longer identify as Nigerian, it's fine. Nobody's going to hold you. But because you no longer identify as Nigerian does not mean you should ridicule the journey of some real Nigerians who are in the UK. And that is where I am going, guys. So let me keep reading. So the article says, story leader who grew up in Lagos says, home is where my now family is. All right, okay, great. And our family is our husband, our children, and her siblings. So she's got 2 other siblings, a male and a female, which are in the UK, I believe. But then don't forget that your origin starts from Ondo State in Nigeria. Just like, even though I'm a Scot, my origin starts from Ijebu-Ode, Nigeria. Yes, I will never forget. And what thing you are forgetting about is the fact that you claim that, yes, you are a British. Yes, fine. But then maybe you should drop the name Kemi. And guys, I'm not coming across as a bully, but there's something that she said that actually infuriated me, which is why I'm coming with this energy. So Kemi Badenoch, it's all right if you no longer identify as Nigerian. Maybe you should drop the name Kemi. Maybe the hair on your head, maybe you should make it look like this, that is growing out of your scalp. Maybe the skin you've got, maybe make it look like this without doing anything. Then I will agree with you that you no longer identify as Nigerian. Let me carry on with this article. So she said, so Kemi Badenoch has said she no longer identifies as Nigerian and does not hold a passport for the country. Kudos, it's fine. Even me, I've been in diaspora for a very long time. When I traveled back home for the first time years ago, I did not have a Nigerian passport because at some point I have moved home maybe 7 times since I've been in Scotland. I misplaced my passport. I only got another one 2021, and when I traveled back home, I did not even get the passport instantly. It took 3 months, and yes, I was not in Nigeria for 3 months. I had to ask the immigration officers to post it to my country, to post it to my address here in the UK. So if you don't want to take a Nigerian passport, that's fine, because at the end of the day, you can travel anywhere in the country with your British passport. When I went to Nigeria, I traveled with my British passport to Nigeria, and no immigration stopped me, no immigration queried me. Let's move on. So the Tory leader who grew up in Lagos, she's of a Yoruba heritage, said that she had not had a Nigerian passport for 2 decades. So she continued. Mrs. Badenoch said that while she knew the country very well and had an interest in what happens there, she had an interest with what happens in Nigeria, but she felt that her home is where our family is right now, in the UK. That's fine. So she was speaking on the Rosebud podcast. She said, in quotes, I have not renewed my Nigerian passport, I think not since early 2000s. So, and she went on to say, I don't identify with it anymore. Most of my life has been in the UK. You left Nigeria at the age of 16. How old are you now? 45? And I've just never felt the need to. She added, I'm Nigerian through ancestry by birth, despite not being born there because of my parents. But by identity, I'm not really Nigerian. That's what she's saying. I know the country very well. I have a lot of family there, and I'm very interested in what happens. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down to why I really came up with this video. Okay, let me find that part. Okay, so she went on. This is the part that actually upset me. So the part that where I read that struck a chord in me, I'm going to put it here. She said, when I knew I was going to a place where I would look different to everybody, and I don't think that was hard, she said. And then she continued, what I found actually quite interesting was that people didn't treat me differently, and it's why I'm so quick to defend the UK whenever there are accusations of racism. The word here that struck me was the fact that that is why she was so quick to defend the UK whenever there are accusations of racism. Kemi Badenoch, please keep your mouth shut. Yes, keep your mouth shut. Shut up wherever you are. So you are coming out here to say you are quick to defend the UK because whenever you hear the word racism, why are you rubbishing my own experience as a parent when my 6-year-old daughter was racially abused in a primary school. You dare go to media and say because you were not treated differently. Guys, I'm being emotional because I know that experience alone. I know what effect it had on my daughter. Even till today, she's 21 years old, and I can tell you my daughter is still struggling from that trauma of being racially abused at the age of 6 in the primary school. So Kemi Badenoch, if you're going to say anything about racism, it should not be coming from you. You should keep your mouth shut where you are. So because you're not racially abused does not mean that you will ridicule the experience of me being a parent. I've been in the UK for 21 years. My daughter, who is 21 years old, was brought into the UK at the age of 9 months, which means she has lived 20 years of her life in the UK. And like I said, she was racially abused when she was in primary 3. She was barely 8 years old when she was racially abused. And yes, guys, I have shared that story here before about how it happened and the steps I took, and how the education system, the ombudsman, were able to upheld 4 out of the things I complained about. And yes, because you want to be a conservative leader, because obviously you are the conservative leader, right? Because you want to become the PM in the UK, you are here rubbishing my own struggles as a Nigerian living in the UK, my own struggle as a Nigerian parent who is raising black African children in the UK. You're telling us that that's why you're so quick to defend the UK whenever there are accusations of racism. Are you now telling me that there's no racism in the UK? Like I said, Kemi Badenoch, shut up. Yes, I am telling you to keep your mouth shut. Just because you did not experience racism does not mean people like me or thousands of black people out there have not experienced racism at one point in their life. And yes, under that article, there are comments that I screenshotted that people came with, like people will always come and say, yes, there are people who will love you and there are some people who will speak against you. And yes, some of the comments said, more correctly, native English, as there really isn't such a thing as native British in my opinion. I definitely agree. Just because she chose not to renew her passport doesn't make her non-Nigerian. Yes, you chose not to renew your passport does not make you a lesser Nigerian, does not mean that you're not a Nigerian, except maybe if you come out publicly and denounce Nigeria and drop Kemi from your name. And this person said, nothing wrong with being both Nigerian and British. Absolutely. And the next comment said, top comment, I am English, a baby boomer. I've lived most of my life in the Netherlands, but do not consider myself Dutch. She's not making sense. Outrightly correct. You are not freaking making sense, Kemi Badenoch. Somebody also said, as an immigrant who is also British citizen, I'm proud of that fact. I will say that you cannot change your heritage, not the fact that you grew up in a country and culture. This is not a subject of, in quote, self-identification, but reality. The reality is that you are a Nigerian regardless of if you like it or not. Let's show some respect to the native British people and don't play identity politics to them. They had enough of this nonsense already. And then, like I said, guys, I was a bit teary there because, like I said, that experience of my child being racially abused, she is still living with that trauma today. When I was raising her as a young child, she's outspoken, smart, she makes friends. Now, she's that timid 21-year-old girl who could barely say a sentence. She's progressing at uni, but then when I look through her, I know she's still struggling from that trauma of being racially abused. And do you know what she was called? She was called a black bastard by another girl, a white girl in her school. And yes, the school authority tried to cover it up, but thankfully I have another daughter who is almost fierce as I am, who came home to tell me about what happened at school, and I took it up straight to the school. The school tried to cover it up, but yes, I told them what to do. So, Kemi Badenoch, do your politics in peace. But if you're going to keep rubbishing Nigerians and keep putting Nigerians under the train. But then do not rubbish my experience as a Nigerian living in the UK who have experienced racism. My children has experienced racism while at school. Me sitting down here, I have experienced racism, but I have dealt with it in a more matured way, and the culprit was actually dealt with by the law, by the authority. So like I said, do your politics in peace and don't rubbish my effort as a Nigerian, as a Scottish Nigerian who has been in the UK for 21 years. Okay, guys, Leave your thoughts and opinion in regards to what I've raised in this video. Like I said, I am upset. You saw me share a tear there. Like, I shared a tear because it's something that bothers me. It's something that I see every day happening to other people. And this woman here, because you want to achieve a post, you are quick to defend the UK when there's any allegations of racism. Like Kemi Badenoch, like I said, keep your mouth shut. Anyway, guys, this is the end of my video. If you've watched it now and you've not yet subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Don't forget to like, drop a comment in the comment section, subscribe if you've not yet done so, turn on your post notification, share this video, do not hesitate to join my membership, and I'll have to catch up with you in another video. All right, bye for now. Bye.
In my veins, I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame, cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearrange